Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of the Faded Podcast. I am Waffalove, and I am joined with...
Hi guys, I am DL reporting from my anti-hero lair, aka my game room.
Me and him are always at it with the podcast.
Well, we finally got past our pilot.
Yeah,
Surprisingly.
we did some bad difficulties with my microphone, but now it's all good. No more mistakes, I promise you.
Hopefully not.
But anyone makes mistakes. We're gonna be in some beef with the podcast Hot Wetsuit because, like, the day after they made the Rogue One episode, and we did that, so we're at war.
They ripped us off, man.
How dare they? Just because we're better.
Well, I don't know. I haven't even watched their podcast.
No disrespect to them. They're good. It's like Elphys, the Alien, Biotic Pig, Sapti, those people. It's those commentary people.
I need to watch more podcasts.
There's some... I wouldn't say not so much on YouTube, but I would say Baited, Catch 33, Hot Wet Soup, Jaw Media, those stuff.
Rebel Taxi's Pizza Party podcast.
Oh, they did that?
Have you ever watched Rebel Taxi?
Yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, he does a podcast show every other Monday.
Oh, I need to look into that.
I've about that one podcast in which Saber Spark guest starred on. It was actually pretty interesting to hear a animation reviewer talk about another animation reviewer.
Oh, that's cool.
But the highlight of that certain podcast was Rogue One.
Now more people are ripping us off.
Hey, it's Star Wars. Everyone's talking about it. I might be reading some of the Star Wars novels. I'm already reading the novels of the original trilogy.
Oh, like the Luke Skywalker story?
Yeah, basically.
Anyways, we already talked about Star Wars. We're gonna talk about superheroes this episode.
I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at Game Over Video Games Super Retro Saturday yesterday.
How was it?
It was pretty fun, and I realized how awesome it is to play as Tron Bonne in that game.
But we're gonna talk about, like, video games from Heroes, the movies, the comics, the novels, and all of that relating to superheroes.
Yeah, and this is definitely good timing because I have started reading the Squirrel Girl comics. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I already want to see Squirrel Girl in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, it would be funny.
Yeah, doesn't the Marvel Cinematic Universe need their own Deadpool?
I don't know if they will or not. Maybe.
Well, if they made a Squirrel Girl movie, that would be close enough.
I know the X-Men version of Deadpool, that's in their X-Men universe. But that wasn't a good Deadpool.
Well, have you seen the Deadpool 2016 movie?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that also connects to the X-Men universe.
It's so funny because they made a joke about it. It's like, oh, shut your mouth, and Deadpool is like, oh, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, and there was also a point in that movie where a Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine was an action figure in Wade Wilson's apartment.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I want to start getting more into Deadpool, starting with a Deadpool 2. That could be interesting. They
But
can go in like several different directions.
but I do feel like we've all been fans of Deadpool even before the movie was announced. Like we've seen him some places.
I've played as him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 a couple of times.
Then you would know what he's like, yeah. Like you're not a fake fan.
Yeah, it totally surprised me on how much of a comedic character he was.
And they made him like so clever because I heard they were just using Deadpool, creating him like that DC character Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deadpool is a parody of that.
Yeah, and he became so better.
Do you think there's a Marvel equivalent to Teen Titans for Deadpool to face against?
I don't want Teen Titans Go to like ruin Deadpool, but
Well, I mean, isn't there like still the original show and the video games that tied into the Teen Titans cartoon?
I only remember the old cartoon I watched, but I think so.
You know, when we start doing commentaries on video games, I definitely should do a commentary for the Teen Titans game.
Is it like recent or it was pretty old?
It was made during the show.
Wait, the new one or the old one?
Old one.
Okay then.
Yeah, this was back when THQ was still making SpongeBob games, and they also made the Teen Titans game.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace, THQ.
Oh, where have they been?
They've been dead.
True, they made good childhood games.
Anything else about superheroes?
Okay, we can agree Deadpool was the funniest movie of 2016, right?
It's definitely the best comedy I've seen in theaters.
And in pretty much years, like, because I watched it like 5 times and it's still funny, like I'll still laugh to it.
Yeah. In terms of like superhero movies of 2016, I would definitely say that Deadpool is my favorite superhero movie of 2016, and Civil War would definitely be my second favorite.
Yeah, Civil War was good. I feel like Deadpool was really good because he didn't have to tie in to any upcoming like movies, like you know what Marvel does, like announces a new movie for different people, but he kind of did the Ferris Bueller thing in the ending, saying he could make a Deadpool 2 if he has the budget.
Yeah. I just made a mistake. I said that Captain America Civil War was my second favorite superhero movie this year. Actually, my second favorite superhero movie is really Doctor Strange. I just remembered that. They're definitely going to try to make Doctor Strange have more appearances, seeing that the ending to Doctor Strange, spoilers by the way, the mid-credits ending was teasing that he'd be in Thor 3. And we're already going to see the Hulk in Thor 3, so I guess they're just getting superheroes that need more attention in the movie franchise. But either way, I thought that Doctor Strange was definitely one of the best movies of obscure Marvel characters since Ant-Man.
It is pretty interesting. Like when I first heard about Doctor Strange, like I'd never heard of him before, and I seen the trailer. It's like, oh, Inception, but it turns out to be really good. Benedict Cumberbatch was a good actor. It was fitting for that role, and wow, it was really good.
Yeah, it definitely seems that Deadpool and Marvel movies are like some of the best modern live action superhero movies.
Do you feel?
DC,
Yeah.
DC movies need to improve. Like, I recently watched Batman versus Superman, and it was boring.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, there were some interesting parts, but I had to recover by watching Captain America: Civil War.
I was just gonna ask you that question. Does DC hold up just as Marvel?
Well,
I feel like they're trying.
in terms of movies like the Dark Knight trilogy, look back to 2008, where the Marvel Cinematic Universe was starting with Iron Man, and the Dark Knight came out.
Oh yeah.
And it was definitely hard to pick a favorite, but I honestly would. I've definitely not picked a favorite today because both Iron Man and Dark Knight are good superhero movies.
I do enjoy Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Somehow it makes it more mature. But I feel like what DC movies now, what they're trying to do is forcefully make it like Marvel. Like I don't like Batman v Superman. I thought it was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
it is kind of bad.
I don't want to insult people who like it. If you like it, good for you. Like, you like something I don't like. But I just felt like it was slow and it's not what we wanted. Because we wanted Batman and Superman fighting. Like, we didn't need Lex Luthor or Doomsday and all of this Justice League shit. We just want Batman and Superman.
It happened in the comics, right?
It has, yeah. But I don't know why Zack Snyder decided to, like, do the Marvel thing and just, like, bring up other heroes and just kill off Superman.
Maybe he's trying to recreate Watchmen.
I mean, Watchmen was a good movie and he did a good job directing it, but don't make another Watchmen.
Yeah, I guess those are the DC movies that he should be making, but he's not.
But as I thought, like, okay, Suicide Squad, that might be better than Batman v Superman. In comedy, I do think so. And a lot of people disagree, like, oh, it fails like Batman v Superman, but I feel like it's a little better.
I've not watched it yet. Do you recommend that I watch the extended version or the theatrical version?
Honestly, I don't know the difference between them. I just watch it.
Well, I'll probably just watch the extended version because, there's still horror stories about the theatrical version, and didn't Alex from I Hate Everything say that it was basically just a ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I've seen I Hate Everything talking about stuff like that. I didn't really. It looks similar to it, but
yeah, considering it's like a team that like doesn't get along at first, but then gets along, and there's retro pop music as the soundtrack.
Now that you say that, yeah, it does.
Yeah, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, they should at least have different retro pop music, because I want to see more of Awesome Mix Volume 2, Because, I mean, they had they definitely had some good songs.
But I feel like what Suicide Squad failed is the music choices and how they edit it in the movies, because it's just so random, because they like put one scene, they just like put the music while Deadshot was just shooting at a shooting range. He just played Kanye West. It was so random. Like, you can just edit that music out and nothing will change. And while they put music in at the weirdest moments, like when the squad was just gearing up and suit up, they played Eminem. Like, that is so random. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I'm still gonna wait to see if there's going to be a Squirrel Girl movie. Yeah, I want to actually hear what her theme song sounds like, uh, because she says of how awesome her theme song is in the comics.
Well, is she like a fourth wall person?
Not exactly sure. I should probably read the first couple issues a second time. I'm sure that she like mostly leaves all the fourth wall stuff to Deadpool, the real self-aware comic character.
Agree. But back to I'd Hate Everything. Like, I know he doesn't really. I wouldn't say he hates superhero movies, but it's just too much to have in a year, and they plan so much ahead of it.
Yeah,
and that just bugs him. Like, I do agree, there's like so much, and some movies that aren't necessary.
Well, hopefully 2017 is going to be a better year for DC, considering that there's going to be the Lego Batman movie.
That is, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can already tell that's going to be awesome. The toy line looks great, and I definitely had a laugh out of the trailers.
I did have the Lego Batmans, and I just like the voice actor for Batman. He's the same voice actor for BoJack Horseman. I think his name is Will Arnett. Really cool voice actor.
It's definitely interesting when you see someone doing the voice of a adult animated character, then going a little more family friendly.
Just seeing if anyone would notice.
Yeah, it'd be like if Seth MacFarlane did a voice for a My Little Pony movie. Actually, I kind of want to see that.
I feel like he would do that.
Yeah, just get a pony to sound like Brian Griffin.
Oh, that sounds so weird.
Who knows? Maybe if there's ever a another Family Guy multiverse episode, they're gonna go the My Little Pony universe, and Stu and Brian are gonna be ponies.
Oh yes, I feel like that would happen for Family Guy because it's been so many poor episodes in the recent seasons. Whether they'll do it good or bad, there's a chance they would, or make that short skit they do.
I think I'll just stick to other adult comedies until Seth MacFarlane can get his head out of the gutter and start seeing ways to improve Family Guy. So I guess I'll just wait for F is for Family season 2.
Oh, I'm waiting on that, but the best adult cartoon so far is Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably make sure to watch BoJack in a couple months. I also need time to watch the Series of Unfortunate Events miniseries.
Have you seen any Marvel or DC TV series?
Not really. But I wouldn't exactly have time considering that I have college, and
Nice.
I have other stuff to watch. I just watched Star Trek Beyond, and it was awesome. Definitely on the list of my top 5 favorite Star Trek movies.
That's cool. Is it like an old one or recent?
Recent. Came out last year.
Would you call Star Trek a superhero stuff, or is it just sci-fi?
Just sci-fi.
I guess that what people gets mixed up with. Are they really superheroes relating to sci-fi stuff? Like, I would get like old people saying, "Oh, Luke Skywalker is a superhero. He saves people and stuff."
We all know that's not going to happen, considering that Mark Hamill has voiced the Joker.
What else about superheroes? Let's see. We keep hearing about Spawn having its own movie again.
I actually own the entire animated series on DVD, which I should probably watch sometime after we finish this podcast.
Oh yeah, I heard like it was the 90s cartoon about it.
Yeah.
If-
The DVD has all 3 seasons of Spawn. It's 18 episodes total.
I am a Spawn fan, but I only saw the comics.
Uh, are are there any Spawn comics that you recommend I would read?
um, I wouldn't know what they're called. I guess if it's issues, I would like say like the original 90s not cartoons, comics, the 90s comics, where it's just how it all happens, how it all began.
So, would you recommend that I would like also watch the Spawn movie from the 90s?
Actually, I haven't seen the movie. I heard it's alright. I don't really know, really. Like, you've seen a Nostalgia Critic reviewing about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I also watched the Bad Flicks review uh, where he reviewed Spawn and talked about all the hard work put into it.
Yeah, it feels like it was hard work in the movie. But, we don't always have to listen to critics. Like, you don't have to listen to what the critics always say.
Yeah, I honestly don't care what the Nostalgia Critic says about the Fantastic Four movie from 2005. That's still going to be one of my guiltiest pleasures.
It was a cute movie. Like, not amazing, not badass, but it was cute.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I define guilty pleasures. It's cute.
Yeah, I mean, with the Fantastic Four movie from 2005, one, it probably is now going to be considered a lot better than the one that came out 10 years after that one. And two, I don't think there's a way it could have been good considering that Batman Begins came out the same year. And that Spider-Man 2 came out a year earlier than that movie.
Yeah, I feel like superhero movies from 90s and early 2000s didn't became the biggest impact of Marvel and DC.
Yeah, considering that the only exceptions would definitely be Spider-Man trilogy, the Batman movies, and the early Marvel Cinematic movies.
Yeah, only Batman and Superman from those times were like good, but the others they tried. Like like Spawn tried. Blade, like Blade 1 was good, and the other sequels tried.
I might watch Blade eventually.
I do like the actor Wesley Snipes. He works with Sylvester Stallone in a lot of stuff. Like Demolition Man, The Expendables. Like, he's a good actor.
I need to see more Stallone movies.
I have a box set. He's like, it's always a war between Stallone or Schwarzenegger on best action film star, but I just like both.
Hey, Stallone fan, can I ask you, have you ever seen Judge Dredd? The one that Stallone did?
Actually no, but
Yeah, I've been talking to her.
my dad did. He said it was alright, because yeah, it is like a comic book character.
Everyone is now saying that the 2013 Judge Dredd movie is better.
Actually, I did not know there was. Should bring Sylvester Stallone back.
Well, don't exactly know if he would be able to be a serious comic book character, considering like all the Rocky films, especially like the later ones where he's fighting against some supervillain. Seeing that it had a little comedy in, I mean, I think we'll see Sylvester Stallone come back when we see Nicolas Cage become Superman.
Oh, I remember that. He auditioned for Superman.
You know, when you hear about that, it just sounds like they're trying to make a parody of Superman rather than an actual Superman movie.
Well, at least Nicolas Cage was Ghost Rider. I never really cared much for Ghost Rider. It does feel like those old superhero movies, but with good CG.
Yeah, I don't think Ghost Rider is a movie that anyone can take seriously.
Like, I never heard anyone say, "Oh, Ghost Rider is my favorite superhero." If there's anyone watching this who thinks Ghost Rider is their favorite superhero, comment below, because I gotta know if there's anyone out there.
And you should make sure to tell us what you think about the Ghost Rider movies.
I think I saw. I don't know if is there 2 Ghost Rider movies?
Yeah.
Because I saw the first one and that was good, and the second one I was like, eh.
Well, at least they got the CG Ghost Rider a bit improved from the first one.
Yeah, it was improved.
Probably like one of the only positive things about Spirit of Vengeance.
And also, like if anyone says it's their favorite because he's dark and mysterious, and like there's a lot of characters that are more dark and more evil looking than Ghost Rider. Just saying, like Spawn or Batman, I guess. I just don't understand the appeal for Ghost Rider. He's just a skull riding a motorcycle.
I bet I could also draw something that's more evil looking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like Spider-Pig would be more menacing.
Oh, you mean that? You mean Spider-Ham, that one Spider-Man comic where Spider-Man's a pig, or
yeah,
are you
yeah,
referring...
Spider-Ham. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I honestly thought you were referring to that Simpsons
not
joke.
not the Simpsons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did they get inspiration from that? Like, oh, I love that idea. Let's make Spider-Man a pig.
But I guess the Simpsons movie is close enough to seeing a Spider-Ham movie.
Actually, I wish that would happen.
I don't know. Maybe if there's a alternate universe somewhere where humans evolved from pigs, we could probably see that.
And also, in the cartoons, that Disney XD Spider-Man cartoon, like they even have Spider-Ham in it. I was like, okay, they can do anything. Also, Drake Bell voices Spider-Man.
In the Disney XD cartoon?
Yeah, it kind of fits.
Yeah,
he does look like Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's definitely better than having him be in another goddamn Fairly OddParents live-action movie.
They made like 4 Fairly OddParent movies. Like, why?
Well, I guess because Nick wants money. Hopefully, season 10 will be their last. I guess you could say that season 5 was the last good season of Fairly OddParents. But then again, if it all ended at Channel Chasers, nobody would complain too much. Maybe
True.
some people would probably miss the show, but still, it's all over.
Luckily, it can't. Luckily, it ended.
Yeah, I honestly believe that. I don't really believe that modern Fairly OddParents is the same show as classic Fairly OddParents.
Mm. They tried too hard to like keep it going, but it failed adding new characters, and it didn't work.
Hey, by the way, let's get back to the superheroes. Anyways, So, what superhero video games would you know of?
Um, Actually, my first ever video game I ever bought was Spider-Man on PS2, like based on the movie Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, I think a month back, I was like showing my second cousin how to play that game, and he's like about 6, and he was definitely mastering the tutorial.
Good, teach the children about the
Yeah,
classics.
yeah, because he apparently likes Spider-Man.
But I think the best superhero video games are the Batman Arkham games.
Oh, what about the Lego Batman games?
Oh yeah, those two.
Yeah, Lego games are classics.
But I feel like they're overdoing it with that multiverse thing, where like the dimensions of all the Lego figures into one. Like you have to like buy your own figures just to play the characters in the game.
Yeah, I'm not really much of an online person, but hey,
Neither.
some new toys have come out. Do
Oh,
you think do you think they'll have Mario in the Nintendo Switch versions?
oh yeah. I actually didn't look up much about Nintendo Switch, but the announcements for Mario and Legend of Zelda are pretty good.
Yeah, we should actually talk about the Nintendo Switch in a future podcast. That is if I ever get one. I want to get one.
And record one for 64 era.
Yeah,
Call up Ben.
yeah. We need to convince him to let us play Puyo Puyo Tetris.
It's gonna be lit. Okay, let's get back to superheroes. We haven't talked about it yet. The new Spider-Man. Which
Well, we're already planning to do another podcast about Spider-Man: Homecoming, but I guess we can give our thoughts on
let's
it so far.
let's just talk about him in Civil War before we say much about him in general as the next Spider-Man.
Well, we already know that he's pretty young to be Spider-Man.
That's my only complaint.
Yeah,
But I feel like
it's probably everyone's complaint.
but you seen the Homecoming trailer?
Yeah. By the way, with Spider-Man and Aunt May being pretty young, I can honestly say that if the Marvel Cinematic Universe decides to adapt the Spider-Man story one more day, I could honestly see why Spider-Man would want to save his Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
Eh.
they go on with her being kind of hot.
And then Iron Man would smash her. You know he would.
Uh,
You can be my dad now.
Speaking of Iron Man, I was talking with one of my college friends about Spider-Man and Iron Man, and I think he was searching up videos or like pictures on Google Images about the Iron Spider. Have you ever heard of the Iron Spider?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and uh, and that was when we assumed that the Iron Spider could appear in a future cinematic movie.
But I do.
Because
Yeah.
think about it, Tony Stark already gave Spider-Man a new Spider-Man suit, and the end credits ending the Civil War is totally showing that Tony is having Spider-Man become a superhero and have him, he's basically equipping him with stuff. I'm just wait till there's an Iron Spider.
I feel like that would end up being in the Homecoming movie because Iron Man will have a big part in it, like mentor stuff.
Yeah, because seeing that Iron Man's going to appear in the Homecoming trailer.
And that Disney star Zendaya will be in it. You know that Disney show Shake It Up.
Fuck that show.
But she's gonna be in it too. Like, okay, Disney, I know you bought Marvel, but don't have Disney stars in the Marvel movies unless they're really good actors.
What was the point of Shake It Up? Were they just trying to make another Hannah Montana?
I think so. Like, oh, come on, let's get down. Look at me, watch me whip, watch me nay.
Yeah.
Even though that was before that happened.
But we all know what happened after Hannah Montana.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Miley. From changing into a horrible person.
Yeah, she can't stop and she won't stop.
But, Donald Glover will be in Spider-Man. I don't know what his role would be, but...
Well, I'm already having high hopes because Donald Glover's in it. I've seen a couple episodes of Community. Too bad there's no Abed for the Spider-Man Homecoming. You know, it would be interesting if I had that one T-shirt that had Evil Troy and Evil Abed on it, where they're wearing fake beards.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Community.
But Donald Glover's doing music, like mostly for his career.
Are you eventually going to review one of his rap albums?
I don't know, because he changed from hip-hop to R&B soul music, but it's relating to rap, so I would.
Awesome.
And, let's see. Spider-Man. What do you think about him in Civil War? Like when you first see him on screen in the theaters, and you're like, who's this kid?
I was definitely impressed that they were able to fit him in. Seeing that it is a bit recent since Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I definitely think that Sony is doing the right thing by having Spider-Man appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the Sony stuff anymore.
Yeah, no one wants a Sinister Six spinoff. And besides, I think the new Spider-Man costume looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, it looks like cartoony. Like, it looks like the one in comics, where his eyes like move around and they look bulgy and white. I'm the Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, I'm also somewhat of a Spider-Man fan, at least in terms of the movies. I think we might be some of the people who still like Spider-Man 3.
I mean, it was okay. Like, I saw Spider-Man 3 in the movies, and I was like, okay, I heard about Venom will be in it, and I was just mostly excited about it, but he only came in the last 20 minutes, so I was like, oh, man.
The movie wasn't really supposed to be about Venom anyways. I can see why you're disappointed.
Yeah, like, I would love Venom in the movies. Like, he's the most badass villain from Spider-Man, or maybe Marvel, but that's debatable. But Spider-Man 3 wasn't about Venom, I will admit that. Because it's about Harry Osborn. Spider-Man kinda killed him, and it was all building up to the new Goblin, so I thought that would be more about him.
One thing I can definitely say about the final battle of Spider-Man 3 is that it definitely had a good team up of Spider-Man and New Goblin, where it's like, oh no, Spider-Man's getting his ass kicked. What's going to happen? And then New Goblin saves the day.
I did like that idea.
We're going to probably talk more about it if we ever decide to do a commentary of Spider-Man 3.
Okay, which Spider-Man actor is your favorite? There's Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and then there's the new one. Sorry, I don't know the name.
I don't know his name either, but I'd still say Tobey Maguire is probably my favorite one. He definitely gets all the nerdiness down, and even though there's like dancing in Spider-Man 3, there's at least a reason for why he's dancing, and he at least looks like he's trying to give a good performance in all three movies.
Like, I wouldn't say he's awful. Like, it's just a way he's been directed and been told to do stuff like that. Like, and he's still putting up a good performance in acting.
Yeah, basically. I will try to think about what my opinions are on the new Spider-Man in these movies when I actually see Homecoming, which I'm going to.
I have watched back the old Spider-Man and also Andrew Garfield to see, okay, which one's a little better. And I have realized, like, Tobey Maguire, I do like him. I feel like he did a good job as Peter Parker. And Andrew Garfield, as I wouldn't say he's the best Spider-Man, he does, when he puts on the suit, he does feel like Spider-Man, like what the Amazing Spider-Man did more than what the original did. Like, I didn't really like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, because he seems like the hip, young, cool Spider-Man, and that's not who he really was.
Yeah, I guess in terms of modern society, it's pretty hard to be a nerd. Because isn't Peter Parker supposed to be like a nerd that everyone wants to pick on?
Right. Sort
of like that one Danny Phantom episode where there's a ghost of that one nerd that's basically he was like picked on, and it was apparently a requirement to graduate if you picked on him.
It was.
And then he possesses Danny Phantom.
It just feels like nerds in movies nowadays is just handsome but with glasses.
I mean, not all nerds have to look like Steve Urkel or the Angry Video Game Nerd, but you cannot really make them. You cannot make nerds
models.
Well, you can't exactly. Well, actually, you can make nerds models, but you have to be smart with it. And plus, you cannot have them act like they're the bully, because who's the bully, you know? I definitely would probably know what a nerd looks like, seeing that when I walk into a comic store or a video game store, people are like wearing nerdy clothes and are acting totally nerdy. It kind of reminded me of my experience walking into a Watchtower Comics 2 days ago, which is a pretty awesome comic store. They were playing Zootopia on their TV screen. Do you know how awesome that is?
I like when they show full movies in stores.
Yeah, when is Zootopia 2 coming out?
I don't know, did they announce it?
No, but it could happen.
They'll have to do Frozen 2 first, I guess.
And Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Wreck-It Ralph 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're doing the sequels again.
This time it's theatrical, but with Wreck-It Ralph 2, forget Pixels. Wreck-It Ralph 2's the real thing we were waiting for.
Yes.
Yeah, I honestly hope they basically talk about modern video games. Like as in, well, okay, not exactly modern. It would still be retro. I'm talking about like 2000 stuff.
Getting tired of the old 80s stuff.
I mean, well, if they're gonna do 80s stuff, they should do less popular 80s stuff.
I mean, I'm not hating on the 80s video games. I like them. Just
Yeah.
it's been confirmed as the definition of video games when they've been talked about. It's like, oh, Mario, and that's it.
Yeah. You know what? If maybe they could like do 90s, but I suggest that instead of doing games like Mario 90s games or Zelda Ocarina of Time or Final Fantasy VII, they need to talk about some of the less popular games. Like, how awesome would it be if Donkey Kong 64 made an appearance? Considering that Wreck-It Ralph is based off of Donkey Kong, it would be interesting for, I don't know, Wreck-It Ralph to use Donkey Kong's coconut gun. It can fire in spurts. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
And they had superhero games back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman's one of them.
Yeah, and I've been playing some Superman 64. I've liked the game. I'm playing it.
You like it?
But I can say that it's sort of a so bad's good game.
Wait, is it the one with the messed up controls?
Yeah, and the rings. Basically, I'm playing it as a joke. Because I bought it as a joke, where it's like, don't play it, it's bad. I know it's bad. That's why I'm getting it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
worth the money.
Yeah, point is I'm crazy enough to do stuff like that. Well, I mean, what I would consider bad would be like if you watched something like Percy Jackson: Sea of Monsters.
Yeah.
That would totally be a shit way to spend your life.
God, like, I love the books, like, I love mythology, but the movies, oh, damn, they changed a lot of things.
For the worst, man.
Yeah.
And I've seen all the Twilight movies. It's like, what's more disappointing? Like something that is already going to be bad, and you're just going to be like, okay, I'll watch it, even though I know it's bad, because there's someone that wants to watch it with me. I'll just have to just get through that. Or no. The thing that is definitely worse is definitely the thing that I don't know, looks good to other people, and you're like, okay, the first movie might be bad, but hopefully they won't do anything worse here. But oh no, it's like,
oh shit,
this is bad.
That's the last straw. No more.
Yeah, I hope there are no more Percy Jackson movies. Well, if there are, they need to just start over.
It really looks like a Nickelodeon movie, honestly.
You mean like Series of Unfortunate Events?
Yeah, it just looks like it with the teen actors and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Percy Jackson could be turned into a Netflix series in the future. With all the superhero shows, they could also adapt some young adult books into movies.
And the superhero TV series are like actually pretty good.
Yeah, and
like I saw Flash, and I was thinking, oh, I'm not into Flash that much. It's like, but I'm giving it a try. It's like, oh, this is gonna be cheesy and stuff. Like, what are they gonna do? Run around? But when I saw the first season, I was like, whoa, that's really good. I feel like DC is better off with TV series because that's when they're really good, more than the movies now. Not saying they should only do TV series, but try and make it look like a better movie.
Well, isn't there that one animated Batman movie that's based off of the 60s Batman series with Adam West and Burt Ward doing the voices of Batman and Robin?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think I might have read it on Wikipedia somewhere. I think
that's interesting.
I might have seen a copy of it at Target.
I just don't like people hating on the Adam West Batman, like saying, "Oh, it looks stupid," but it was a big deal back then.
Yeah, and some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Like my dad told me, he was hyped for it when it was shipped to England, and everyone was excited because it was like nothing they ever seen, like nothing that epic. But like you gotta like nowadays you look back at it, it's like yeah, but you gotta like respect. Without that TV series, you wouldn't have the Batman now.
Yeah, you wouldn't have some of the darker comics like Dark Knight Returns.
Because that's how it all happened. Adam West.
Yeah.
They gave Batman a chance, and that's how it became big.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to the show in some ways. Besides,
Of course.
its feature film is one of the only times in movies where you see 4 comic villains team up.
Yeah, like that was a big deal. Like you gotta be excited for that.
Yeah, and plus you have Rocky's training coach playing the Penguin.
Yes, and Jack Nicholson. Was he in that or something else?
No, he was in the 1989 Batman movie.
I messed those two guys up.
Yeah, and Cesar Romero was the Joker in the 60s show.
Okay, now I know now.
Yeah, one of the Jokers has a mustache and the other one doesn't.
I'm trying to remember because they all look a little similar.
Yeah, because Cesar Romero refused to shave his mustache off for the show, and you can easily tell where the mustache is.
That's how they all started. Even Heath Ledger took inspiration from Jack Nicholson. Like he helped give him advice, and Heath Ledger is now known as the best Joker.
Rest in peace, Heath Ledger.
Like he won an award, and he wasn't alive to see that moment. But what do you think of the new Joker, Jay Leno? The way it's formed like a pimp gangster Joker.
Well, as a person who has not seen Suicide Squad and has probably seen the trailers, I can say that it already seems inferior to some of the other Jokers.
Right, because they had gangster pimp Jokers back then.
Yeah, I bet if you replace SpongeBob and Patrick from that one episode where Patrick tries to get an award, Big Pink Loser.
Yeah.
If you replace SpongeBob and Patrick in Big Pink Loser with some Jokers, like one of the older Jokers would be SpongeBob, and Jared Leto would probably be Patrick. and he looks like he's just he's not really bringing anything too new. I mean, I don't really. I'm not really angry with the design that they're going for. It probably was. It probably was in the comics, and plus, not too many people complained with Heath Ledger's Joker design.
No, of course not.
Yeah, and isn't the Joker like a crazy psychopathic villain?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's always supposed to look like a crazy clown.
We're gonna have to wrap this up real quick, so let's just end it saying what's your favorite superhero or superhero movie?
Well,
there is a lot.
Can I say Deadpool?
You can, yeah.
Yeah. I relate more to anti-heroes at this point.
Like Deadpool was like before the movies even happened, like we're all praising it would be good, like not the Deadpool from the X-Men, but they gave what we wanted and they did it so well. Like they didn't like spoil anything else. Like it was just about Deadpool and it worked. Not to mention Deadpool loves Wham.
Yeah, I already knew that the movie would be good, judging by the trailers. So what would be your favorite superhero movie?
I would say Deadpool, but I would say that's the funniest superhero movie. So I'll say The Dark Knight. I know that's a bit obvious, like that is that is on the list of best movies, but I really do enjoy it.
Well, it's definitely my favorite DC movie, next to this '60s Batman movie and Superman.
Right.
1 and 2, and Batman Begins.
And hopefully, Ben Affleck, like when you saw Batman v Superman, what do you think of Ben Affleck as Batman?
Well, he was a much older Batman, and
he kills.
Well,
kind of breaks the code.
Well, so did Michael Keaton's Batman in Batman Returns.
I know. Why are people so pissed off about it?
Yeah, and well, seeing how good the Dark Knight trilogy was on giving reasons for Batman not to kill, I guess it doesn't seem right for those movies to be followed up by this Batman, this new Ben Affleck Batman.
I do think he's pretty good, and
yeah, at least he doesn't call any 12-year-olds retarded. Yeah, have you seen the Atop the Fourth Wall review of All-Star Batman and Robin?
I actually didn't. What happens?
Yeah, he's well in that the Frank Miller wrote Batman as like some psychopathic superhero who calls 12-year-olds retarded because he called Dick Grayson retarded, and the part where he says "I'm the goddamn Batman," that apparently became a meme.
Is that how the I'm Batman thing started, or
no? This is I'm talking about a comic series that started in 2005. The I'm Batman, I think, possibly started in the '89 Batman movie, but I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to do my research.
Anyways, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.
We will possibly see you in our Spider-Man Homecoming podcast.
When is Homecoming coming out?
I think February.
Then perfect. That would be the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to comment if you are a Ghost Rider fan.
And make sure to follow us on our Twitters. And I'm going to make sure to post on my Instagram in case you want to see my game collection.
We'll have it all in the links below. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
See you guys whenever.
Time to wank off.